Next up is the Cyborgo Maiden Hurdle, race 24 over 2 miles and 2 furlongs. So Brigadoon, Grace for David Robertson, Craig Beckwood's Mogul, Nick Drivers on this day, Simbeer for Martin Needham, Etu for Stu Gray, Nick Drivers, Homery, Matt Cooper's Ortia Attitude, Alex Cherry's Persistent Kicks, Hollywood Hinton's Shabora Calotti, and Grey Clutterbuck's Sponge Out of Water. Fight this Cyborgo Maiden Hurdle. The dreaded week 7 hurdles. As we see the field, racing. 11 hurdles to take here. That's Brigadoon Grace from Sponge Out of Water. Lead us into the first, and it's Sponge Out of Water that strides off into the lead. Brigadoon Grace, who's taken a hold in second. Then we've got Ortia Attitude, and this Sponge Out of Water's gone off lickety split here through the first quarter mile. It's already starting to stretch this field out. So Sponge Out of Water comfortably leading by 3 from Brigadoon Grace. There's also a couple away from Ortia Attitude and Simbeer. Then we've got Mogul and Shabora Calotti a little wide up against the Railways Etu. Then the first of the Nick Driver horses on this day, and Persistent Kicks and Homery just bringing up the rear. So Sponge Out of Water still leads them into the second. Brigadoon Grace got a little bit closer. They're all clear the second. Sponge Out of Water by just a couple now to Brigadoon Grace, who's closed the gap. They're about 3 back to Simbeer as they go over the third. Oh, mistake by our leader. Flattened it. And it's Brigadoon Grace that just rolls on by as they go over the 4th. So Brigadoon Grace is our new leader from Sponge Out of Water, who's coming back up on the inside as Brigadoon Grace takes a hold. Then we've got Simbeer and Shabora Calotti, Mogul. And legs back to Ortia Attitude. And the Nick Driver horses, Homery, and on this day, they're 2 up against the rail. And Persistent Kicks. Sponge Out of Water goes back up in front from Brigadoon Grace. Much closer now, 10 lengths between first and last. Through the first miles they get to the 5th. They all clear that slightly backwards there too. That's what you'd expect. Who did jump it well was on this day. Moved himself up into a share of 4th there as we go through the trees. But it's Brigadoon Grace and Sponge Out of Water. A length and a half back to Mogul on this day. Then we've got Simbeer and Shabora Calotti. Wide is Persistent Kicks and Ortia Attitude and the Red Silks. Then Homery. And they're 2 for the commentators at the rear as they go over the 6. But it's Brigadoon Grace and Sponge Out of Water. I won my first National Hunt race yesterday that wasn't a National Hunt flat race. So I'm all chuffed with that. Finally got off the mark. Brigadoon Grace is our leader in this one. The Cyborgo Maiden Hurdle as he takes them over the 7th. They all clear that. So he's got a 4-length advantage from Simbeer, who's moved into second now. Sponge Out of Water's going backwards. Could be something up with that one. Third is Shabora Calotti and Mogul. Wide is on this day. Sponge Out of Water still going backwards as they go over the 8th. So up front, Brigadoon Grace is now joined by Shabora Calotti and Simbeer. These 3 are about 3 away from Mogul. And then on this day, Sponge Out of Water is definitely out of sorts here, but up front, Brigadoon Grace just knows he's back in front from Shabora Calotti. Simbeer's got himself locked in. Mogul's moving up well on the wide outside, and also on this day. These 5 are about 5 lengths away from Homery and Persistent Kicks, but it's Mogul that now takes it up. Moved up well up on the outside, still no room to go is that Simbeer, but it's Mogul that leads now from Brigadoon Grace and Shabora Calotti. On this day, and Simbeer as they go over the 9th, 3 from home with just 2 to take. It's Mogul and Shabora Calotti, should I say. Length back to Brigadoon Grace and Simbeer, and on this day as they're over the penultimate, and it's Shabora Calotti that gets away from it better. With just a furlong left to run, and it's Shabora Calotti down to the last. Ooh, a little bit slow. Mogul up on the inside. Simbeer's got a bit of running room now from on this day and Brigadoon Grace, but Shabora Calotti's got more. We're going to take it. Shabora Calotti takes the Cyborgo Maiden Hurdle from Mogul and Simbeer on this day, and Brigadoon Grace are your 5. So a good win there for Del. Well done. Takes the Cyborgo Maiden Hurdle. From Mogul and Simbeer of Craig Beckwith and Martin Needham, your 2nd and 3rd. On this day for Nick Driver got up for 4th, and Brigadoon Grace for David Robertson was 5th.